Good evening. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live. I still want to say Tuesday night Rotor Talk Live, Season 2, Episode 35, Chinese Tariffs. Want to welcome my co-host, Mr. Marcus Crawford. Ron Braun is going to be taking some time off. He's got a lot going on. Everything's fine, but he's got a lot going on. So he's going to probably rejoin us here coming up, I would say probably in another 3 or 4 more weeks. So, but we wish you well, Ron, and I know you're going to view us and all that good stuff. Marcus, how are you this evening?
Darn good, Bill. Yeah, just been kind of staying busy, messing around with the Mavic 2 Zoom, and of course that Osmo Mobile 3 showed up, so I've been fooling around with that. And then you know how it goes. You always got your little you're always playing with, and I've had them all out. This guy, I got that extension rod for it, which gives you a lot more controls with it, which makes it actually more workable. So yeah, interesting stuff.
Awesome. Well, we're going to have some show and tell from Marcus with the Osmo Mobile 3 tonight. He's got a video clip. Want to welcome Lauren's in the house. Bob Dozer's here tonight. Jeremy Zahora, Brian Gonzalez, Dale Wilson. John is here. Parks in Tech. How are you, Josh? 3X Jones is here. And, of course, FSU Grad 03. Thank you guys all for showing up tonight. Want to start things off. Got a great clip that I want to show you guys, and then we're gonna get into Osmo Mobile 3 after that. Got a friend. His name's GBoy185, and if you're watching tonight, my man, props to you, big time. He went over, believe it or not, he went over to France, and this is called Le Mont Saint Michael. Now, he said it was a 9-hour flight from South Florida over to France, and then a 4-hour car drive for this. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get the sound off, and then we're going to go ahead and share here. Sharing screen 2. Okay. And let's go ahead and roll this.
Oh, that's that deal that's kind of a little island, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they have cool things like that in Europe.
Yeah, he filmed this with a Mavic too.
Wow, that's phenomenal. So I guess that road goes underwater at times, and so you either have to be out there or back, one or the other. You think they have a Costco there, Bill?
I don't know. Looks like they have a rooftop pool down there.
Yeah, that's it, or a soccer field or something. Wow, he nailed that one.
Oh, absolutely.
Gee whiz, how'd you like to stand on that balcony on that thing? Man.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's just one of these ones that just kind of gets you going and leaves you speechless after watching it. I will drop a link in the description for G-Boy 185. You need to check him out. He's down in South Florida. My friend knows how to shoot. He also has a Phantom 4 Pro. Absolutely stellar videos. You guys need to check his channel out. 100% guaranteed. So Marcus, we're going to talk about the Osmo Mobile 3. And I know you said Rick Smith like made all the world difference in the world for you regarding that. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it.
Yeah, well, so like everybody else, when we figured out that DJI's big announcement was going to be a new gimbal, a mobile gimbal at that, I kind of shrugged and said, well, you know what, I'm looking for a drone. What the heck? And I just didn't. I'd had mobile gimbals before and was not very impressed with them, so didn't think it was something I'd be interested in at all. Well, they did the introduction, and the first thing that caught my eye, as I believe it did yours as well, Bill, was the price. $119 for the Mobile 3 and $139 if you got the combo kit. And so then I pulled up YouTube, and of course I'm subscribed to Drone Valley, and Rick's video popped up, so I watched it, and he really made the case for why it's something that you would want to have, in that it is easy to use, which has been a problem with the previous mobile gimbals that I've seen, and then all the features that come with it. It has active track on there that is just beyond amazing. So if anybody that has the little Osmo Pocket, active track is disappointing on the Pocket, to say the least. If you get out of frame or a little bit, it loses you. And you're trying to make a video, and all of a sudden the camera's pointed off the wrong direction. This guy is a whole nother story. It just doesn't lose you. It keeps you in frame the whole time. I did a video with my Mavic 2, and I used I put the Mobile 3 on a tripod with my iPhone 10, and I used that for my narration, and it kept me in frame the whole time. And then, I always thought, like on the Osmo Pocket, I always thought the story mode was something dumb. I'd never used it. So just for the fun of it, I tried story mode with the Mobile 3, and it worked out pretty good. So yeah, if you want me to, Bill, I've got another one that I made really quick today that I can show real quick.
Go for it.
Let's do it. Let me hit share here, and yeah, there it is. So hopefully you guys are seeing it. Are you seeing the video, Bill?
You got to hit the share down at the bottom. Have you done that?
I did. And I'll be darned. Yeah, geez, Bill, I lost the whole icon here on my screen. Hang on. Yeah, give me just a second here, Bill.
Sure.
So it minimized it. So let me hit share again, and movies and TV and share. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, here we go.
Awesome.
So that with the Movo
Awesome.
3 just took me a couple of minutes to set up. Let's stop sharing here, and yeah, so that was kind of fun.
One of the questions that I have, and I know a lot of people do, I had the Osmo Mobile 2 for all of about a week before I sent it back, because it took me like 2 hours to get my smartphone balanced on that. How easy is that with the Mobile 3?
Let's just do it here.
Let's just do it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So hopefully I could get this where you guys could see it. So here it is folded up. So basically you fold it out. what they want you to do is just hold that motor, and then you got this guy right here, and they want it even tells you what direction to put your
the phone in.
To put the phone in, right? So basically, then slide it in, and you just kind of roughly, yeah. So I'm a little bit off there. I went too far the other way, but it's yeah. There we are. It's pretty well balanced.
Oh,
so I'll
wow.
fire it up here. So let me, and then I hit the button twice, and it'll put. I like shooting in landscape mode.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, boom. So then you fire up the Mimo app, which I won't go through all of that, but you fire up the Mimo app, and it connects Bluetooth to your phone. So then you have all those controls and everything that'll do. And when you're with the trigger here, you can lock mode. And then if I pull the trigger 3 times, it goes to the selfie camera, points towards you. So like if you were doing a vlog with this thing, you hit that trigger 3 times and it points the camera towards you. Hit the trigger 3 times again, and it points it back out. So, and you have a controller right here, a joystick controller to move the camera around. So
that is just, I'm telling you, that is just so much easier than the two. I mean, seriously, it's like night and day.
Yeah, so you just throw it in there that quick. So then even when you turn it off, it just gets it all set up to just fold back down. And, you pull your phone out of it and lock it up. And you're good to go.
Ready to go. Wow.
Quick,
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just like that kind of leaves me a little on the speechless side. That really, I mean,
here's the thing. I think I'm going to use it more than I use this guy. I just, because it's so easy to use and your phone has such an awesome camera on it. Yeah, it's something I never knew I needed until I had it in hand and watched Rick's video. But the other thing about it that's phenomenal is that $119 price. I mean, man,
Oh yeah,
that's the thing that tips you over. If it was $250, Bill, I wouldn't have touched it.
Yeah, that price that price point is what I say is a game changer. I mean, that really makes a big difference. Now, one of the other things that I kind of wanted to talk about, and I'm sure, being that you have, I'm had to get it out of its case here. Okay, the Osmo Action. All right, I can't say enough.
I'm always prepared.
We're going to talk about that in a second. I can't say enough about this. Okay, and I know there's some other people that I'd commented on my other channel about the sound on this, and that it's something both DJI and also GoPro need to work on. They need to work on getting some kind of a good adapter to really pick up sound. But everybody's saying the sound on this is better than on the GoPro Hero. I think Ron even kind of said that. So as far as picking up ambient sound is concerned, because I go from the video that we did when I did a test in Sam's Club on a Saturday. Okay, noisiest environment on the face of this planet. All right. And it picked me up like nobody's business. It picked up Valerie pretty good, not great, but pretty good. But you can hear everything that she was saying on this. So, and I know, who was it? Rick Smith came out with a video, and he said the company that comes out and has something as far as getting great sound for action cameras, it's a game changer. He said is an absolute total game changer.
Can I expand? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, with that, I wanted to get your thoughts, because I know September's coming up, and I know that there's that company that makes those GoPro Heroes that hasn't been sitting on their hands since the Osmo Action's come out. Okay, I wanted to get your thoughts about what you think may be in store for something like that, Marcus.
Well, we all saw those pictures that looked like it had some kind of microphone attached to it, which would be just phenomenal. I was using, of course, this on the Mobile 3 today, and this, and so they were both were recording the same audio. The audio on this iPhone was so much far superior to what the little Osmo Pocket was picking up, and it would be the same thing. I'm telling you, this guy is about the same as the Pocket too. That, you know, the audio to me, when I listen to audio on the Osmo Pocket or on the Hero 7, they're so similar. It's very, very similar, and it's not good, especially when you look at the iPhone 10. And what you know is, if Apple can do it on this iPhone with, you know, this thin little device, surely on one of these action cameras, they can put decent audio on there. And I agree with Rick, it would be a game changer. So let's hope that GoPro does with their GoPro 8 that they're talking about. And let's also hope then that DJI follows up with the version of the Osmo Action with some sort of a built-in microphone. And let me also add one more thing, Bill. Even though this has great audio, it is not windproof. If there's wind blowing, you hear that. That's what you need on an action camera. It's going to have to be windproof, because by very definition, this thing's always moving, right?
Exactly.
So it's got to have some kind of windproofing.
David Martin Graff brought up a great point as far as the Osmo Action would be amazing if you could live stream, and he's very right, okay? You can't live stream from this, and, you know, that's something for me I absolutely love, because last year when we were at the event, guess what? I live streamed from my Galaxy Note 8 there, okay? And it was fantastic to be able to do that. Now, you know, reception, you know, Wi-Fi, it was good. It wasn't great. And it came out pretty decent. But if I had this instead to be able to do that, I could have been way more portable than with the phone, okay? So I, you know, and this is just what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that when that GoPro Hero 8 comes out, you're going to see a flurry of firmware updates for the Osmo Action, and you'll probably see something along the lines of live streaming to come out with this. I would just almost make a bet.
Hey, Bill, so that does make sense. But the thing that when I think about live streaming with an action camera, and of course you brought up using your phone, it would have to be connected Bluetooth to your phone, right?
Right.
Or Wi-Fi, one or the other, in order for that to work. And that's exactly what this guy does. And Ron has done it a few times from his Hero 7. And his conclusion was, well, I might as well have just taken my iPhone out. But what you're saying is that because this is so much more portable, your iPhone is in your pocket and you're able to easier capture what's going on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I agree with, you know, and I remember Ron saying that. I think he probably said it on our show. And he's right. I mean, he really is right about this. But as far as the portability factor, being able to, you know, do this and do this, you know what? Well, guess what I did this weekend? Okay. Something so totally foreign for me. I'm going to put it out on a vlog. I made spicy chicken soup over the weekend. All right. And guess what I did? Okay. I put it in the tripod in here, in this, set it up like this and set it down. And I just pointed it at the pot, and I was talking the whole time. And I have some great footage from that. Okay. Just from being able to do this with this action cam. And then, you know, the field of view from the Osmo Action was fantastic. I mean, it captured so much, which was great, you know, and that's why, you know, I'll say it again, you know, I had a little 2-minute video come out today, and we're talking about the first part, you know, that it's called the summer story sale. This is $50 off, guys. So if you're have any inklings or thinking about getting it, just get it now, because you can save $50. I mean, that's a big deal on this. And this, I'm telling you guys, this is just, it's a home run. It really is. DJI did do their homework on this. And then conversely speaking, one of the topics that we want to kind of touch on tonight an awful lot are tariffs. Okay. And I know there's been some chat. David Martin's been talking about it. Martin Graff in the chat already is about tariffs. Now there is a, you know, tariffs are going to hit September 1st. You know, we're not 100% sure if this is going to affect, you know, it is going to hit some consumer electronics. I did see one of, some of the big items were a lot of back to school kind of stuff, that kind of thing, some clothing. But the jury is still out whether or not it's going to hit drones and DJI. And in fact, I think I saw Ron had a post on it. I think it may have been in his group. I wasn't sure, about lobbyists in DC for DJI trying to make sure that drones aren't included in all this stuff. Marcus, what are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get political, but honestly, I think the approach that we're taking now is somewhat self-defeating for the very things that you're talking about. And it's not just what we're going to see with our devices and drones, etc. It really, what you don't realize is that those things, anything that has steel in it, a lot of that comes from China. All of those prices are going up, and ultimately it's us that pay the price for those tariffs in the increase of the price of goods. Now, boy, I don't think any of us can guess what's going to happen here in 2 weeks. Supposedly they're negotiating, and if they can get it settled or somewhat settled from them before then, maybe we'll get a little bit of a reprieve, which would be awesome, because I just don't, it's not good for anybody. And these drones, particularly the DJI products, are expensive enough as it is, and people aspire to buy a Mavic 2 or something at $1,200 to $1,500. It's a lot of money, and if that goes up another couple $100, they're just not going to sell as many, because there's just not going to be as many people that can afford them. So let's just hope that the thing gets settled before it gets too carried away.
And that's my sentiments exactly, Marcus, because you know what? It doesn't do, and I'm trying to make this not political at all. It doesn't do any good for the United States to be steadfast and resolute about this. And conversely, it doesn't do China any good to be steadfast and resolute about this, because, let's face it, bottom line is the U.S. wants to make money. China wants to make money. Okay. And, I want something that's going to be fair on both ends, for both countries. I mean, China has an incredible economy. We have an incredible economy, and let's not hit the persons who it's going to hurt the most. It's not going to hurt, DJI. It's not going to hurt, other manufacturers. It's going to hurt us, because we would have to pay, we're the ones, John Q. Public is the ones that it's going to have to bear the brunt of all this. Okay. And none of us wanted, it's like I lucked out, and I'll tell you a story. When I got my smart controller, I did it right before the price increase, the tariff price increase. Okay. And they jacked out. I mean, it went up $100. Okay. And I got it right before that happened.
Well, Bill, my story on that, right?
Oh yeah.
I was ready to pull the trigger, and that price increase, stopped me. So yeah, I mean, I can't say that entirely. That's not entirely true statement. It was the price increase plus then the availability. You couldn't buy it direct from DJI.
Yeah, it was the availability just went, wonkers on that and everything. So, I'm just hoping, the cooler heads will prevail on both sides, and they will, because, let's face it, Marcus, okay, there's money to be made for both countries here, okay? And, I'll give you an example here, all right? You guys have seen, you've seen my yard 100,000 times, if not 200, okay? Now, back beyond our fence, there's a property back there, all right? Now, that property's up for sale right now. And it was, let's just say it was somebody has already bought in the middle. There's 9 houses that border the lake back here. And in the middle, they've already bought it. Okay. And they paid an astronomical sum for it. Okay. And the other 8 homeowners say, we're not doing this. So we hit them low. All right. The guy came back, who's representing the owners. Said, okay. All right. Well, what we're doing right now, and somebody else came back with a higher bid, same thing, he's sticking to that price. Fine. You know what? And here's the thing, okay, for this back here, The only way you can access this land is by water. You can't, otherwise you have to go through other people's properties. So it's completely useless. You can't build anything on it. It was zoned agricultural. Now it was zoned residential, but you can't build on it. Okay. So they have the problem. They're sitting on this land and they're having to pay taxes on it. Okay. So they're going to, you know, and we're of the opinion right now, the other homeowners, we're just sitting on it. We're just going to just sit on it because, you know what, in the end of the day, they're going to want some money. Okay. And it's the same thing here with this. I hate to use this analogy, but it's kind of sort of the same thing as far as that's concerned.
Hey, Bill. So I'm looking in the chat, and Lauren brings up something that I think is prescient to this conversation, in that it affects more than just us here in the U.S. or China. You know, he's up there in Canada, and those tariffs, because of all the trade between our two countries and so forth, end up costing him more money too. And of course, I'm not sure what you call it, Lauren, if it's a value-added tax or whatever that you guys pay up there, but most goods and services are more expensive already. So yeah, it's kind of a double whammy for
Lauren does raise a good point there. And, you know, let's just hope, like I said, let's just hope cooler heads prevail. And, you know, not only with this, but also, you know, Lauren brings up our good friends up north in Canada. I mean, you know, I know, you know, I've talked to Roger before and some of the folks from Canadian Drone Hub, and, you know, and they feel the sting too. I mean, it hits them pretty hard as far as prices are concerned. So, I mean, you know, that's just kind of one of those. That's just kind of one of those things. Want to call out some people who have joined since earlier. Drone is here. Let's see who else. 3X Jones. Oh, Ethan Mitchell. Thanks for showing up tonight, Ethan. Appreciate that. It's great to have you here. Okay, I think I've covered everybody. All right. Well, you know, with all that being said, okay, we're ticking the clock for another month. We're coming up on September. Okay, we're coming up in the home stretch of 2019 here, and you know, when are we going to see something from DJI? I've been getting that question. People pinging me a lot about that. And I said, you know what? At this point, I said, you know, the pictures have been out. We've seen some reported specs. You know, who knows at this point? I mean, who knows?
Yeah. So, you know, I suspect we'll see whatever that junior drone is, whether it's a Spark 2 or Mavic Mini or whatever it is. I just know DJI isn't going to go into the holiday season without something for us to spend our money on. I mean, you know, I don't know anything, of course. That's just me speculating, pure speculation. But where there's smoke, there's fire. And in the past, Bill, every time we've seen a little smoke and a little guesswork go on, it always turns out, while it may not be completely true verbatim, often they nail it. It's just like on this guy, when we started hearing the rumors, well, we knew what it was before they made their announcement. I suspect it'll be the same thing with the drone, and there's enough people talking about it out there that there's something going on. One more thing with regard to tariffs before we completely get off that. I find it interesting that they were able to offer this at such a competitive price with that in mind. So I'd like to know more about how that works, but if DJI can do it, that's awesome.
Oh yeah. Well, Lawrence told me that, you know, he's indicated before, you know, it's like end of August, beginning of September, something coming, you know, probably the Spark 2 or whatever the mini drone's going to be called. And then the Mavic Air 2 is coming October. This is what Lauren has said. And, you know, it's, you know, that's very interesting because, you know, again, you know, and I think timing is everything, because if you come out with something, you know, in that kind of a time frame, okay, that gets it in the hands of enough people where the weather is still pretty decent across most of the country, that they can still fly it and enjoy it. And I think it would bode well for a holiday season to be able to do something like that, to be able to get that out, get that in the hands of some people. And I'm not talking, you know, Kelly Shores will get it. Aldrin Estacio will get it. Rick Smith will get it. Those guys will get it too, and they'll get great reviews out there, which really holds a lot of weight for DJI. But what really helps is when Marcus Crawford gets it, when Ron Brown gets it, when Bill the Drone Reviewer gets it, when Ken Dono gets it, when Billy Kyle gets it. People really watch our videos as well too, is the big guys, and they make an evaluation based upon that. And quite frankly, I think we're DJI's greatest marketing tool. Okay, when we go out there and we do a video about it, it makes such a big difference for them. And that's why I don't think for the rest of this year, and especially for these two drones that are coming out, there'll be no event. Okay, they'll go out. It'll be on the website like the Osmo Mobile 3 was, like the Osmo Action was. Smart controller, everything. It was non-event related. It was all, next thing you know, it was out on the website. Okay, it was there. And I think we're going to see the same thing with these two drones this year. I really do.
Yeah, I completely agree, Bill. And so Dronemaster says, is the Mini real or is it not? Lots of folks feel it's a 3D knockoff. It could be. How the heck do we know? I mean, Lauren has some information, but my point of it is whether that's a 3D knockoff or not, what makes sense is that DJI is going to bring something out before the holidays. And there again, it's just speculation, but I can't believe that they would go into the holidays without a new drone for people to buy.
I agree. And and as I said before I came out with my anniversary video, the last drone that DJI came out with was the Mavic 2. I mean, the last release that they had for a drone was the Mavic 2, which was, it's now getting to be on a year and a week ago. So, it's, while they've kept the fire stoked with some things, they've had the smart controller come out, they've had the Osmo Action come out, they've had the Robomaster come out, they've had the Mobile 3 come out, the Ronin SC has come out. I mean, there's been a lot of products they've released, but let's face it, we all know what their bread and butter is, okay? Their bread and butter is drones. And them getting a new drone out, I think it's paramount for them in 2019. And we'll see it, even if a small drone like that. And especially, and I think Hey Kesterlu really hit the nail on the head, because if we have no idea if it is 250 grams or under, okay, he is right. It will fly off the shelves. They will not be able to keep them in stock. And I guarantee you this, if it is, and they announce it, okay, you better hit that buy button pretty doggone quick, because they are going to go. Marcus has that buy button ready. He's ready to rock and roll. And so am I. Because I know it's going to be a very competitively priced drone. It will really just open it up for people, because, now, Marcus, bring up your point that you've said, just because it's under 250 grams, okay, doesn't mean that you're exempt from having to do things. Why don't you go ahead and talk about that?
That just blows me away when people get all excited about a drone because it's under 250 grams. The only thing that changes is you don't have to put a sticker on the side, and you don't have to get that. If it was the only drone you had, you wouldn't have to get your FAA hobby license. Other than that, you still have to comply with every single FAA regulation in flying a drone. And it doesn't make any difference. It could be a tiny little drone, and yeah, you have to comply with regulations. Now, obviously, that tiny little drone isn't going to go up 400 feet or whatever, but something coming from DJI, I could see potentially 100 and 250 grams. Where that 250 gram thing kind of makes sense, Bill, is the commitment that DJI made that every one of their drones, 250 grams and over, would have that ADS-B.
AirSense.
Yeah, AirSense is what they call it, ADS-B, which is the transmitter that tells you where aircraft are at. And so they committed to anything over 250 grams would have that. So that would maybe allow them to get a drone and keep the price down, right? Because no doubt it's going to be price sensitive. And if it's a Spark type drone, probably doesn't really need ADS-B. You're
oh yeah,
a selfie drone. So anyway.
What we've seen, and one of the things, and I think Marcus said it, and we talked about it when we had had a special about, I don't know if it was with Hey Kestelou or the Friday night special that we were on, but he brought up a good point, and he says, you know what? We're just, this is all speculation here, okay? None of this is factual. Even Hey Kestelou says this is all pure speculation on this, okay? These are not, they come from, while they may come from credible sources, there's still, it's speculation. Until DJI releases it, okay, until you actually see all the bells and whistles and all the facts and everything, okay, you know, what we're basing and everything we're talking about is just speculation. And I think that's important for people to realize that. And you brought that up before, Marcus, and I wanted to emphasize that as well, too, because, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, Bill the Drone Reviewer and Marcus and Ron Brown, they all said da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I said, well, wait a minute here, okay. What we're saying is what has been reported, okay, what is out there, okay, because Bill the Drone Reviewer a long time ago in a galaxy far away, and my good friend Original Dobo, we inserted foot in mouth regarding the Mavic 2 in a Cetalev, and you know, both he and I just had to eat some crow big time on that, you know, for going through that. We're not going to go through there again.
Hey, Bill. So can I just make one more point in
yes.
that regard with regard to speculation? So, as you know, I'm part of the Corvette community. I'm involved with Corvettes and Corvette clubs, etc. With this new C8 Corvette that was coming out, there was so much speculation and so many rumors and spy shots and things like that. And hey, I don't know. I enjoyed it all. I wasn't taking it all to be that was truthful, and that's what Chevy was going to hand to us. I knew that this was just people speculating. So, I mean, I don't see a problem with it at all. And it happens, you know, it's going on right now with this iPhone. You know, the rumors of the iPhone 11. How many YouTube channels are posting things, and they don't know anything.
Oh,
they're just guessing, you know. So anyway, I kind of get a kick out of it myself. Did you see Lauren's comment there, Bill, about Canada and 250 grams?
Yeah, that was Ethan Mitchell. Yeah, he said the 250 gram mark is more for laws in other countries. Here in the U.S., it really doesn't make a difference. Ethan, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, and Lauren is also, just right above that, is talking about in Canada, he says they're not regulated at all.
Yeah, under 250 is not regulated at all. So yeah, that's a real good point. And yeah. Oh, Drone Master. Hey, Bill, you're the second to give news on the duel. I guess I was. You know, when I broke out and found out and got news about that. Now that was from a confirmed source from DJI. So I mean, that was pretty much gold, and that's why I came out with that. And see, you know, we learned our lesson. I know I talked to Ken Dono about this, you know, and it's just like, you know, we learned our lesson as far as getting out there with news and making sure you know who your sources are and all that kind of good information. So that's the only time I come out, when I know who my source is and I know their credibility, you know, especially, you know, Drone DJ, Hey Kestelou is respected to the nth degree. Want to talk a little bit about spin up. I know that's coming up. It's, you know, we're getting ready to flip that calendar. September's coming up. And as each month goes by, I think the price of the ticket goes up like maybe $25 or so. So if you're hesitating and you're thinking about it, you need to make your decision soon. There are going to be two great guest speakers there. Hey Kestelou is going to be there. Folks, I can't tell you, I've talked to Hey off camera. You know, Ron and Marcus had a chance to as well. Hey is as real as it gets. He's absolutely fantastic. Great knowledge, great journalist. You know, he will be invaluable to have there. And also Jason Shoppert, and I hope I didn't mispronounce your name, Jason, if you're watching tonight, from Remote Pilot 101. By far and away the best, I mean, the best of the cream of the crop as far as studying for your Part 107 is concerned. It doesn't get any better. And when you buy it for life, okay? And you get just a wealth of material on there. And I can't say enough about it because I've looked at the practice exams and they've been absolutely spot on. Okay. So I can't say enough about that. My only thing about this is, okay, it's every 2 years, you got to pay $150 for this. All right. Whether you pass or not. Okay. And it's every 2 years, you know, for me, and I gave Marcus a real good example. We were talking before the show tonight is some of you know that I am a ham radio operator. and I have my Amateur Extra, which is the third level, the third tier of licensure that you can get through the FCC. Now, I have to go back and recollect because I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's every 10 years you have to renew it. But all you have to do is go ahead, fill out the paperwork, send in the money, and you're renewed. Okay, you don't have to take another test again, all over again. All right. I kind of like the way the FCC runs things as far as that's concerned. I think they do a better job of things, and I think they're a better managed branch of government, believe it or not, than the FAA. I think the FAA is kind of all over the place. With that being said, there was some talk about the test that's going to come up for recreational pilots. I know Sally French had mentioned that in one of her articles recently, and the FAA wanted your input. They wanted to say, what did you want from it? And I sent them some input, and I says, number one, it has to be online. You can't be having people go to testing centers, to take both the Part 107 and the recreational pilot test. Okay. The other thing, you got to make this inexpensive. $5, $10 at the most. Don't even think about charging more than that. What are your thoughts about that, Marcus?
Yeah, it is a little crazy. It feels a lot like a money grab, and that's a lot of people have said that, and it really does. Gosh, it's just one of those things that I suspect it's probably something that trickled down from the rest of the aircraft licensing systems, but that doesn't mean that it's right. And yeah, these are drones we're talking about, so it's too bad. But I just think it's probably I can't imagine that it'll ever change, because how those kind of things go. They get used to that revenue stream, and yeah, trying to reverse that would be tough.
Yeah, I think Lauren brought up a good point here. They're going to copy what we did in Canada on June 1st. And I talked to Roger from Canadian Drone Hub as far as, and it's an all online test, and it's fairly straightforward, but it asks, of course, what would a test from the government be like without asking a ridiculous off the wall type of question, I think. And they told me what it was, and it was just so far out of whack, it wasn't funny. I mean, I don't exactly remember what it was. Don Carson, welcome to the show tonight. Remember, everyone, all dealers in the U.S. that already have inventory should not increase your price. Okay, all right, that's a good point. Thank you, Don, for bringing that up as far as the price increase is concerned. So, everybody keep tabs and be alert. Okay, for things. And Don's bringing up some good points here. So watch you buy from, if all of a sudden September 1st, they say the price is higher, and they already have inventory, they're taking advantage of you. That's a very good point, Don. Thank you for bringing that up. So be very alert where you're buying this from, okay, and who you're buying it from. And, that's what I have to say to everybody. And that's why I came out with that video was, to get yourself educated and to be aware and to keep your radar on. Because, if you want to buy it before, and we don't even know if this is going to be, if this tariff is going to hit, as far as that's concerned, we don't know if it's going to hit drones as far as that's concerned. So, just be on the alert and just be knowledgeable about that. But like I said, if you're looking to get one of these guys before August 29th, it's $50 off, guys. And I can't say enough about it. Accessories are uber cheap. Batteries are $19 a piece for this. You probably want to pick up an extra two for this. This selfie stick I got through DJI, it's like $30. It has been invaluable because it folds into a tripod as well. And I can't tell you the amount of use I've gotten out of this. This has just been phenomenal. Every time I go set up to film for the channel, this is out there filming everything with me. Okay. It's like, it's like second nature, and I know Marcus takes his GoPro Hero out. I know Ron does the same thing with that. I mean, an action cam is a must have in your media kit when you're out there filming. It's just without any questions, without any questions at all. Josh, good. Go ahead.
If I hadn't already had this, and what motivated me to buy this was the stabilized video, I guarantee you I would have been buying that Osmo Action.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Positively. Got some great things coming up as far as things in the channel. First of all, I want to thank everybody that subscribed to the new channel. I got 66 subscribers. I didn't imagine that in my wildest dreams right now, because while please do subscribe to it, because as far as like when you get channel updates are going to get posted out there going forward. They won't be posted out on Bill the Drone Reviewer channel anymore. They'll be out on the limited edition channel. So you definitely want to check that out. I got new logos that came out. You guys have probably seen them. Okay. Absolutely love the guy who I work with on Fiverr. I'm also going to be working with my guy that does my intro. We're going to get that logo updated as well. Merchandise. Okay. Now, your cup of coffee has to go better in a Bill the Drone Reviewer coffee mug. Okay. Now, this has the old logo on it. We're going to get these updated with new logos. So be on the lookout for that. All right. And, I would be remiss in not mentioning our Christmas extravaganza. Okay. Like we had last year. Marcus, Valerie, and I had an absolute blast. We had the 12 days of Christmas, had a giveaway every night. It was so much fun. I mean, I had the old style Christmas lights would flash. Got it to flash with music. Ended up picking it up like at Walgreens. Absolutely fantastic. Well, I got dinged. I got a copyright slap on the hand because I used White Christmas. Okay, God forbid why that isn't in public domain. I don't know, but anyway, we're gonna have fun. I got some copyright okay music to use this time around. I can't tell you how much fun it was, and we are looking to have a blast. I mean, it's not even September, and I'm excited about it already. I was excited when I filmed that video. I'm excited about it now. Marcus, any closing thoughts tonight?
Yeah, you know what? Don't get all worried about what's coming down the pike drone-wise. Fly what you got, and if you're in the market for a drone now, there are some incredible deals out there now that are probably cheaper than ever. I haven't looked at Walmart lately, but they had that Spark with the controller for $329. I don't know if it's still on there, but that's a phenomenal deal. Some of the lower price drones I've seen on sale, the Hubsan Zino, the Fimi X8 SE, you now can buy a refurb Mavic 2. I think they're out of the Pro, but you can still get the Zoom, for about $1,100, which is just a phenomenal deal. So, instead of worrying about, you don't need to worry about what's coming down the pike. There's some great drones available right now, and fly drones and have fun.
Marcus, I couldn't echo your sentiments anymore. Okay. It's like, okay, it's exciting, but you know what? Fly what you got. Okay. I think the first person I heard that from was Original Dobo. He says, you know what? He was just like, fly what you got, enjoy what you have. Okay. I want to thank so much G-Boy 185 for letting me play your video tonight. I don't know if you're still in the chat or not. Absolutely. You guys got to check his channel out. I dropped a link in the chat. I will drop a link in the description after the show is over. Also, within 24 to 48 hours, this episode will be out on Bill the Drone Reviewer Limited Edition as a podcast. I also, you can also find the podcast on Podbean, BEAN, like Jack and the Bean stock. Okay. It's also out on the Google Play Store. It's also out on iTunes, and it's also out on Spotify. So, there's your podcast needs are taken care of. Okay. And I absolutely cannot say how much I enjoy being able to get that out on a podcast for people, and they get downloaded because I'll go out to Podbean. I've had over 1,500 downloads on Podbean. I guess that's how you measure, whether or not people are enjoying it. 1,500 downloads on the podcast. So, definitely look forward to that. Oh, G-Boy 185, you are very welcome. Absolutely. You too, my friend. Thank you so much for letting me share that video. I'm so glad I came across that. So again, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. I want to, of course, thank my wonderful co-host, Mr. Marcus Crawford. It's going to be he and I for the next few weeks, but I think we can handle things. Got some guests lined up, not 100% confirmed, so I don't want to announce them, but everybody will be the first to know it. And they're names that you've heard of. They're household drone names, okay? And, you're going to have to put your fanboy hats on when they come in the house. So I just want to let you guys know that. Again, thanks everybody. I really appreciate you're tuning in tonight and spending some time with us. And remember, it's a great day to fly. Take care, everybody.